a lot of fire regarding his campaigning tactics. So they're saying that, and this is according to the Boston Herald, they're saying that he's been paying small sums of money to homeless people of color to campaign on his behalf, largely in minority neighborhoods. And then some have been spotted in t-shirts that say Obama supporters for Scott Brown. And so like he's been paying them like $8 an hour. And it doesn't say how many. They're not saying how many people he actually paid, but there's quite a few. And it also says that the effort for Brown comes after recent Warren endorsements by Mayor Thomas M. Menino and leading black ministers. Okay, and Elizabeth Warren, she's the opponent. She's a Democratic person, Democratic, but so Elizabeth Brown has sought to go after the black ministers and the mayor for the black vote, and Scott Brown is actually paying black people or people of color, minorities, to go into these neighborhoods and campaign for him. Now, I don't live in Massachusetts. I'm in Mississippi, so my situation is totally different. But if I were in Massachusetts, I would vote for Scott Brown. Looking at his record, his voting record, he seems like the type of person that thinks for himself and is not just going to do something because all the other Republicans are doing it. He seems pretty consistent in I don't like the fact that he doesn't mind the GMOs in all the foods and stuff like that. He voted no on a lot of those things. But, I mean, is that the top of my issue list? No, it's not. So, and I've seen a few commercials and a few interviews with him, and he seems like a nice guy. He looks honest. He looks, and I'm not saying you can judge a person by their looks, but I can usually tell a person by their looks. You know, if I have look at a person, talk for a little while, I can tell if they're full of crap or not. Not all the time, but most of the time. And he seems like a pretty good guy. He's been through a lot. So now back to this paying the homeless people. Okay, so Elizabeth is getting the minority pastors and getting the mayor to campaign for the vote for the minorities. And it looks to me like the churches are paid and the mayor is paid. Now, Scott pays the homeless $8 an hour. They're not paid. So the fact that he's paying them is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And people are saying all sorts of things like, and I'm on the Grio right now. People are saying things like, oh, he's just going to say he was creating jobs, LOL. Well, he was creating jobs. It may not have been the kind of job that you wanted, but for these people, he's changing their lives. You know, he's giving them a chance to make some money and do something productive. So yeah, he is creating jobs. It doesn't say how many, but even if it's one or two, he helped those people out when he didn't have to. He could have gave the money to somebody rich and powerful, but he didn't, you know? So I think that was kudos for you, Scott Brown. Also, like, people are saying, somebody says, makes you wonder if they will bribe the homeless. Who else will they bribe or accept bribes themselves? Paying somebody to do a job is not bribing. It's just paying somebody to do a job. They're saying, oh, people will actually do anything for money. Well, those homeless people probably will do anything for money. You know? people are taking this and turning it into something so ugly when it's really not. And somebody says, oh, well, that's mighty white of him. He's too white to come to black and brown communities himself. Does that really matter in a situation like this? Like, he's giving these people jobs. He's giving these people a chance to make some money. He's giving these people a chance to put something on their resume for when they do go out into the workforce. They can say, well, we campaigned for Scott Brown, you know, especially if he wins, you know. I just don't like how people are turning this into something ugly. Now, me personally, I have more Democratic views than Republican views. So I normally vote Democratic. But at the same time, right is right, is wrong is wrong. And Scott Brown, he did a good thing by paying these people. And they're trying to take it and turn it into something ugly, turn it into something sinister when it's really not. It's just a man who's campaigning. He's in a race. He needs help, and he's paying the people to do what he asked them to. I don't see nothing bad about that at all. You know, somebody said it's pathetic. It's not pathetic. What's pathetic is, how do those people end up homeless in the first place? You know, how did they get to the situation where it's so bad that they end up homeless? Could it have been mental health issues? Could it have been not enough pay? Could they have quit their jobs voluntarily? You know, that's the problem we need to fix. That's what's pathetic, is how people end up being homeless. Was there not any place that these people can go? Could they go to their parents' house? Could they go? Is there a family that will take these people in? So that's an issue that we need to focus on, as opposed to things like drugs and other things, because drugs is not actually an issue. Drugs are like the after effect of the issue. Like, people are having the problems and then they start doing drugs, you know. Or if they start doing drugs, people think that if they start doing drugs, that causes the problems in their life, but more than likely they've already had the problems in their life, and then doing the drugs was just a symptom of it. So drugs are just like the band-aid, their crutch, their coping mechanism that they use. But the problem with homelessness is something that we need to rectify. And the fact that he's paying these people $8 an hour, that may get them a, you know, they work for a day, they can get them a motel room. You know, they work for 2 months, they can get that, save up for a down payment on an apartment. You know, so this, it's really like, it's a good thing that he did, and I don't like the fact that people are taking it and making him look bad. Now I understand that he's a Republican, but at the same time, like, you shouldn't be that way. Whether you're Democratic or Republican, we're all people. And if this person's doing something good to help people, so be it, you know. Good for him. But that's all I have to say about that. If you're in Massachusetts and you're watching this, just take a look at his voting record, and you may agree with some of it, you may not agree with some of it. But one thing you can say is he's consistent, and he's not just voting on things that that most Republicans, you know, he's not pressured by most Republicans to do things. So he's somebody that's more, you'll be able to, you'll be able to get things done with him, you know, as opposed to not getting things done because he doesn't care about the issues. He seems like he cares about the issues. So that's a real good thing to do, is vote for Scott Brown. And he's not paying me, but maybe I should call him up so he can give me some money. But he's not paying me. That's just my opinion. I saw it on my email, and I thought I'd let you all know that I think that it's not a bad thing that he's paying these people $8 an hour. Really? That's good in these times. But if you want to make some extra money, don't forget to